Honeys have been used for thousands of years as an antiseptic or as an antimicrobial, but honey, it becomes no more antibacterial than sugar after a short period of time. Unlike the other honeys, Manuka honey remains active as an antibacterial, whether it's exposed to UV sunlight, all of the different factors that honey could be exposed to, Manuka honey remains active. The real benefit for Manuka honey is in the anti-inflammatory. People with rheumatoid arthritis, sports injuries, any kind of inflammation within the body, Manuka honey has a very powerful and very potent anti-inflammatory property. There is no other product, natural product, that contains the powerful anti-inflammatory properties that Manuka has. We always had bees. From a very small child we've had beehives, so it was just a natural progression. When a friend of mine, Professor Peter Molan, started investigating the special properties of Manuka honey, I became obviously very interested. We've got 15,000 hives, and they're dotted all over the country, so from the very top, Kapawairua, Ahipara, all down the coast, right around the East Cape and down to the Wairarapa. It's important that we can trace the honey back to the source or to the forest, and every hive has a GPS location, and the honey that comes off those hives, when it is taken into the factory and extracted, has that location go with it. So when you buy a pot of Watson & Son Manuka honey, you could look at the batch number and you could actually Google Earth it and see where the honey came from. Well, these forests are very remote, very isolated, and they're away from any of the urban areas, the city areas that where you would get pollution or contamination of any kind. So the honey is being collected in such a way that there will be no chemical, pesticide, any kind of interference. The result is that you have a very, very clean, very, very safe, and very, very organic product. We use the Molan Gold Standard because it's based on the work of Professor Peter Molan at Waikato University, and he is recognised globally, internationally, as a leading scientist. Now, Peter has put a lot of work into assaying or quantifying the honey so that he has a rating system, 10 plus, 15 plus, 20 plus. The higher the rating, the higher the proportion or quantity of the antimicrobial or anti-inflammatory property. So it's very important that we can quantify the product, and using Peter Molan and his standard to do that is a very credible way. The advanced wound care market is where the product is really special. We've developed a range of products to treat chronic wounds, non-healing wounds, and infected wounds. One of the products that we have is a patented superabsorbent fibre, and that it manages exudate from the wound, and in the process delivers honey into the wound bed. So it's a honey delivery system. That one dressing can manage a wound for 7 days. So it's a very special product, and we're putting it into hospitals and clinics and burn centres around the world for treating all of those clinical problems. Family is very strong. For us, it's very strong culturally, and we're very tight as a family unit. And you learn to work together. It's part of a rich heritage that we have. My kids have been a real blessing in the business because they've been able to support me. Daniel runs the apiaries, the beehives, and he's got quite a crew out there. There's 15,000 hives and 30 odd beekeepers. My youngest daughter was a research chemist, and she has put a lot of effort into the science. And my oldest daughter is in the area of, she does the designing and the artwork and the labels. My wife is probably the most important, Meryl. She takes care of all the things that I miss, and it's great to have her backing up everything that's happening. Having them all involved is a real blessing. It's very, very cool. A lot of businesses have exit strategies. My exit strategy is when I die, and we're passing on a heritage to our people. This is not about creating a short-term business. It's about creating an industry, and a sustainable industry that will be here for generations to come. So for us, we're not really interested in any kind of short-term relationship. It's all about creating something that the next generation and the generation after that can carry on.